The next generation of systems is already setting up to be a complete crap fest. And when I say that, I mean literally. With ray tracing and frame generation being the things that are being advertised for the PlayStation 6, and prices are going to be going up just like I've been talking about before. This is going to be a era of the $100 game with ray tracing and frame generation. I don't know. This is going to suck, guys. Here, let me elaborate a little more. So, the PlayStation 6 is going to be having frame generation as one of the key pointers and one of the key features, and same with ray tracing, just like the PS5 did. But frame generation is more of a new one. Developers are not willing to optimize their own games, so we're going to rely on PlayStation to add frame generation. Sadly, this is the way that we are heading, and it's kind of almost a spiral of doom, where I think PCs are actually going to be the thing where everyone's just going to get a PC one day and consoles are going to eventually fade themselves out or taper off. Who is using ray tracing? I cannot figure this out for the life of me. It is just so bad on performance. Everything about ray tracing. I mean, yes, it looks marginally better, but that marginally better is just not worth your time or your performance. And to be focusing on ray tracing as a key feature or key standpoint of a console, to me, is not a selling point. I know they tried doing that with the PS5, and I never bought a PS5 because there was really not a good reason to get one. Even though I have a computer, like, I was happy buying a Switch 2 just because they had the exclusives, but I think the real thing that sells a console is the exclusives. That's why Microsoft is really falling hard, and that's why I think PlayStation may fall hard eventually on its own face. I think Nintendo is the outlier here in this scenario, just because, well, they don't really go for performance or ray tracing as much nowadays, but it is all about the games. That's just what sells it, and that's why they can have this $100 price tag. But these other companies are also trying to do this $100 price tag. If you haven't seen the video I just made before this, I was complaining all about $100 price tags and Mario Galaxy and all that stuff coming out. Anyways, go check that out if you haven't. And also, if you are not subscribed, subscribe. Why not? It's free and it really does help me out. Anyways, getting back to the video. I want to talk all about the next generation of systems. With the PS6 and I reported Xbox handheld, that's not this Rogue Ally X, but it was supposed to be a handheld. But apparently what happened is that the Steam Deck is the reason that handheld was now canceled. And I guess the partnership with Rogue is kind of their fallback to this. Are any of you guys going to be buying that handheld, by the way? Because I don't know anybody who's going to be buying it. It is so expensive, and I feel like most people would just get the Steam Deck. Or if you're going to go all out, why not just get the GPD Win 5, which is quite literally it is the most powerful handheld at this moment in time. The sad part about these new consoles is that they're going to be using a lot of buzzwords like AI and 8K and upscaling, but who cares, guys? Oh my gosh, who cares about AI in like video game? Why is that a selling point? Who the hell is gonna buy a PS6 for AI? Imagine that. Would you do that? Would you buy a PS6 if it said AI, enhanced AI, 8K? See, they tried putting 8K on the box before, but we know damn well on a PS5 that thing is not running 8K. I think I've seen some report on GBA Temp where there's one single game on the PS5 that runs in 8K. But I don't know if it natively got there or what it's doing, and like I was saying before, next generation does not need necessarily more ray tracing and AI and more power. It needs exclusives. It needs the games. There needs to be a reason to buy this system. I'm not going to go and buy a PS6 if there's nothing to buy a PS6 for. It's the same reason like most people are going to buy a PS5 would be for Grand Theft Auto 6, because that game is only on the consoles at the start, and that's going to be a system seller. I feel like I'm really hating a lot on PlayStation here. Now, Xbox and Nintendo are also big culprits here too, with Nintendo being the one who raised the game prices up to $100. All these other companies are just following suit, and that's just a sad reality, is that you're going to be paying $1,000 for a base system. Imagine that, $1,000 for a base system, because we're not far off from there right now. We are close to that. We're getting really close to that base marker going to $1,000. And now with all these handhelds, even that GPD Win 5 kind of pushing that mark up to $2,500. It's not out of the question that a PS6 could cost $1,000, or the next Xbox console, if there even is one, costing $1,000. Or I don't think the Switch is gonna Switch 3 or whatever, if that ever came out, if that would cost $1,000. I doubt it, but I could see them doing some pretty major hikes And another great point that I need to make too is that consoles are also phasing out the disk drive. So you're going to be not only paying $100 on these new systems, or more actually, it might even be more than $100. You might be paying more than $100 for digital only games with no disk drive and no option to buy the physical disc to begin with, while it all runs under frame generation and the whole game runs like crap and input delay is really high because it is frame generation and there's ray tracing and no one cares about ray tracing because there is no real good performance gain or there's not really a good reason to run ray tracing. It's just, you can get a really good outcome with baked-in lighting. Not only will you be paying these brand new prices of $100 or more, you're also going to be locked to one storefront where you can only buy their games from there because there is no resale market or secondhand market if there's no physical games. You only have PlayStation Store, Xbox, or Nintendo where you could buy from, which is another pointer that's just not a good sign to go for. And on top of that, Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, Nintendo Switch Online are all going up in price too, and a lot of those are required to even play online. Just my recommendation, just get a PC at this point, or a Steam Deck. That's even cheaper. A Steam Deck, you can happily get a Steam Deck used for cheaper than a Switch 2, and you'll definitely not regret it. I've done this every time, even in my videos. For the last 3 videos, I keep bringing up the Steam Deck, but it's such a good reason to get into PC gaming, and you can do a lot of emulation on it. It is just a good buy all around. I want to end this video off by saying this is the generation we're heading into where ownership is now the past and renting is slowly becoming the future. With AI and ray tracing being the main focal points of the next PlayStation system and a handheld Xbox also being the next focal point, the rival to Switch, I guess. I don't know. But whatever that is, I am not all for it, and I highly doubt that I'll be picking up a PlayStation 6 or an Xbox handheld. And I just don't see myself supporting the cause. I don't like it, and I don't know if you like it, but tell me if you have any plans to buy it. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. So thank you so much for watching, and if you did like the video, why not subscribe? I'm a small channel, and I would really appreciate it. Anyways, that's all I got for you now. So hey, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.